What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Thursday, June the 1st. I'm very sorry we haven't been on here for a few weeks. We had a couple holidays, a couple fucking disasters here in our personal lives. Mike was in the hospital for a weekend, and then it was Memorial Day weekend, and then, you know, things just kept getting deeper and deeper, but we're all 100 motherfucking % on a Thursday morning. Everything's been great lately. I've been having a great time. I have not seen the Burt movie or the Sebastian movie yet. I see people already torturing them for no fucking reason. They should be very proud about their accomplishment. I feel bad, but hey, welcome to the motherfucking movie business. The situation at hand today is us talking about what's going on, what the future is. Basically, a couple weeks ago, and it had nothing to do with anybody. It was just, it's getting rougher to do this. It's getting rougher for me to do this. We tried it in the house for a while, and now, you know, I don't know what happened over the pandemic, but I knew after the pandemic I wasn't the same. And listen, some people could tell you whatever the fuck they want. I'll tell you how it is. I just wasn't the same. I could just feel myself pulling away from stand-up and everything else. You know, when I moved here, I wanted to take some time to myself. Mike kept calling me and torturing me that I'm a loser, that I should do something with my time. So I listened to him, I took his lead, and I could feel from the first 3 podcasts that I had lost something, that it was completely different. And I wanted to do something completely different. I just wanted to be like Paul Harvey. For you guys who don't know who Paul Harvey is, he's a fucking old guy that I grew up on that would have a radio show every day at noontime that spoke about nothing. But it was the most interesting fucking show I ever listened to in my life, you know? And I love what Bill Burr did. I love what Theo does by himself. You know, I wanted to give it a try. I thought it would be great just to come up here and free ball and fucking whatever, but it didn't pan out for me, guys, you know? And then guest, I can have Jesus on here. You guys don't want him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, and I understand. And then everything changed. Listen, man, I've been doing this podcast shit now since 2011.
Over a decade.
When nobody even knew what a fucking podcast was. Like, if you get in to do a podcast today, you have people that you look up to. Well, you know, Rogan's doing this. You know, fucking Chael Sonner's doing this. The Bodega Boys are doing this. When we got into it, it wasn't like we didn't know nothing. I didn't know if I had to interview people. What do you think? I fucking came up interviewing people. I'm a criminal. People interviewed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never interviewed fucking nobody. So, you know, this was all new to us when we started this in 2011. And again, I'm very grateful for the podcast movement, because without the podcast, I would not be here. My career would have been something completely fucking different, because I always wanted to have a podcast. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I just wanted the opportunity to tell my story. And that was the great thing about it. And it was so new and interesting, and everybody jumped on it, and we were having a great fucking time. But I had to pull the church when we were doing fucking tremendous. I mean, pulling the church just lets you know where you're at. The church was great, and I was having a great time. I mean, even during the pandemic, we were getting great numbers. Everything was working out. And once, you know, we were going to change it around, but boom, the pandemic happened, and I didn't shut it down because I was brain dead then. I shut it down because it was time to fucking get the fuck out of there. And I had to get Lee out of there, and I had to get my friends out of there. And look, out of all the people that left, how many people left and really left? Me, Lee, and Steve Simone. Everybody else is treading back there. Well, I wanted to go take a look. Now I'm doing sets. No, man. You got to stick to your fucking words sometimes. And that's something that's a difference between being a player and being a fucking king. You got to see certain things, and you got to attack them before somebody else lets you know. Like I've always said, I've taken great pride in not have somebody telling me when I got to leave the room. I've always taken great pride in that. And that's why a couple of weeks ago I was like, you know what, man, this thing is not working. We shut it down, the audio, just to see if it would make it a little easier. And it still felt like a struggle to me, you know, at times. And I just want to be honest with everybody that I think my podcast day is come and gone. But at least I saw it. And at least I don't have to fucking have people tell you, you know, this is over. I mean, I feel it, guys. You know, you have to live a little to have a fucking podcast. I haven't lived the last 3 years. It's not like I've been on planes or gone to Houston or, you know, the most interesting thing for me about having a podcast is living your fucking life and then reporting on it in a certain way that you could do it, whether it's a concert, whether it's a movie, whatever the fuck, you know, a golf game. I don't give a fuck. But, you know, it just wasn't working anymore. And for weeks, I just sat here and would say to myself, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing it? Is it the money? Is it what is it? And then I realized, man, I'm out of stories. You know what? I just did something that on paper looked so great, but in reality was so hard. I just emptied my heart of everything I had in it. Like whether it was good or bad or things that made me embarrassed into a fucking book. And then I sat across Mike and Lee and Felicia and told stories on how, you know, these things affected my life and stuff. Well, it was great for while it lasted, but now after the book is out, I'm all out of fucking ideas, guys. I have nothing to compare it to. In fact, if I don't ever have to tell a story about my fucking past again, it would make me so fucking happy. Like, it would make me so fucking happy, guys. So in other words, yeah, I'm kind of over it a little bit. I feel bad because I know you guys are loyal soldiers and your family at this point. Listen, the people that were soldiers disappeared. The people that stuck around, the new people we got, you guys are family. You know, from the Lalingases to fucking Quadrex. There's tons of names. Sergio Ortega's. I mean, Sergio Ortega and me have been together since the fucking Beauty and the Beast. And we have a relationship, you know. My buddy up in Pittsburgh. It's been a great fucking run, man. But I just don't have the time no more to put into it like I did before. And it makes me realize how much time I was taken away from my family. You know, when I got into stand-up, I was a lone fucking soldier.